Let's be honest. When a woman has options, the choice isn't random. She's not pulling names out of a hat. There are subtle, almost invisible triggers that make her zero in on one man, while the others blend into the background. And here's the kicker. Most men have no idea what those triggers are. This isn't about looks, money, or smooth lines. It's deeper, biological, psychological, primal. So today we're breaking it down. 8 sexual triggers that make her choose you over every other man in the room. Some of these she can't even explain, because they bypass logic and hit her at the level of instinct. Let's start with the most primal. Touch and proximity, the I feel safe but excited trigger. When you get this right, you can feel the energy shift. Her shoulders loosen, her breath changes, her pupils dilate just slightly. Why? Because human touch is a chemical event. A simple, well-timed brush of the hand releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It tells her body, I feel safe with him. But here's the secret. Safety alone doesn't create sexual pull. It's safe with a dose of tension, guiding her gently through a doorway, sitting just close enough for your knees to almost touch, a light hand on her back when you laugh together. As Dominic Mann puts it in Flirt Like a Pro, escalate, escalate, escalate. Not aggressively, not clumsily, but like a man who knows his value and assumes the sale. Ever notice how the guy who lingers just outside her personal space always feels like a stranger, but the one who owns the space between them becomes unforgettable? Exactly. Sexual tension. The is he going to trigger. If proximity opens the door, tension pulls her through it. Sexual tension isn't about explicit comments or over-the-top moves. It's the art of making her wonder, what's going to happen next? Think teasing, but layered. Hold eye contact just a beat longer than polite. Let a smile hang for a second too long. Playfully disagree with her, then soften it with a grin. Jack Morin, in The Erotic Mind, calls this the emotional aphrodisiac, that intoxicating mix of anticipation and uncertainty. It's why a subtle touch or an unspoken glance can make her heart race more than an obvious compliment ever will. And here's the twist. If she feels that tension before anything physical happens, you're already living rent-free in her head. Up next, why women instinctively chase the man who leads without asking, and why being nice is killing your chances. Leader of men, the he sets the tone trigger. When you walk into a room, do people adjust to you or do you adjust to them? This is bigger than confidence. It's leadership energy, calm, unhurried, grounded. Your movements are deliberate. Your posture is open. Your eye contact lingers just enough to command respect. Christopher Canwell calls this high-status signaling in atomic attraction. Women pick up on it instantly. Why? Because their brains are wired to spot the man who can navigate the tribe, set direction, and handle chaos. It's why the guy who takes charge of the evening, choosing the bar, steering the conversation, making decisions without apologizing, is magnetic. He doesn't need approval, he gives it. Ever notice how the man everyone else watches becomes the man she can't stop watching? Strong identity. The this man knows who he is trigger. This one is subtle but devastatingly effective. You've seen it, that guy who doesn't flinch when challenged, who doesn't bend just to keep the peace. He's not arrogant, he's centered. Robert Greene in The Art of Seduction calls this exuding an unshakable persona. Women can smell it a mile away. It says, this man's life doesn't orbit around me or anyone else. I'm invited into his world, not the other way around. This is why purpose is irresistible. When you're building something bigger than yourself, a career, a mission, even a passion project, you radiate an energy that says, catch up or get left behind. And here's the kicker, even if she doesn't fully understand what you do, she'll want to be part of a man who knows exactly where he's going. Unpredictability, the I can't quite pin him down trigger. Here's where it gets fun. Predictable men are safe and forgettable, but add just a little unpredictability, a surprise text midday, an offbeat date idea, a playful detour in the conversation, and you've tapped into something primal. Christopher Ryan and Casilda Jetha talk about this in Sex at Dawn. The human brain craves novelty. It spikes dopamine, it keeps her alert. But here's the trick. It's not chaos. It's curated unpredictability. A man who can keep her guessing just enough without being flaky stays thrilling long after the first date. Ever notice how the man who's hard to pin down becomes the man she's obsessed with figuring out? Exactly. By the way, I made you a cheat sheet called 25 Forbidden Signals She's Secretly Into You. It's like having X-ray vision for female attraction. All those little glances, touches, and habits most men miss, you won't miss them again. Grab it. Links in the description. Mystery and intrigue, the why can't I figure him out. Here's a secret women will never say out loud. We are addicted to mystery. If you give her your entire story up front, then congratulations. You've just made yourself predictable. And predictable is the opposite of seductive. Robert Greene writes in The Art of Seduction, leave them always wondering who you really are. That doesn't mean lying. It means letting her see pieces of you, but not the whole picture. When you hint at an experience but don't explain it fully, when you share a story that leaves her with questions, you're giving her a gift, a reason to keep coming back. Ever wonder why she's thinking about you long after you've gone? Because she's still trying to solve you. Emotional roller coaster. The I feel everything with him trigger. You want to know what kills attraction? Flat, safe, emotionless interactions. Jack Morin calls this, in the erotic mind, emotional aphrodisiacs. Moments that make her feel alive. It's why teasing banter 1 minute and deep, soul-level conversation the next can feel intoxicating. When you give her emotional highs and lows, not drama but depth, you tap into the same circuits that make a woman obsessed with a book or a film. She's feeling something she doesn't feel with anyone else. Confession time. Half the time, it's not even about you. It's about how she feels when she's with you. Eratic Imagination, the he makes me dream about him trigger. Now we're at the deepest layer, and the one she'll never admit. Luann Bresendine, in The Female Brain, points out that female arousal lives as much in the mind as in the body. Daniel Bergner takes it further. Women's erotic triggers are often story-driven, imagination, suggestion, fantasy. When you use playful innuendo, when you make her the heroine in a story you tell, when you leave silences that feel charged, you're not just flirting, you're writing yourself into her private daydreams. And here's the truth. Once you live in her imagination, it's game over for every other man. She won't tell you this, but when she's lying in bed replaying your words, that's when you've won. Which one of these do you think you're already doing, even without realizing it? And if you haven't yet, grab that cheat sheet I made for you. It's in the description. Oh, and don't stop here. Check out this previous video I made for you. You'll love it. Until next time, pay attention, make your move, and own the moment.